Hello everybody, welcome to maybe a little bit different sort of video that we're doing today. Felt like we needed, well, kind of overdue to do a little bit of a recap or a revisit, a bit of a review I guess, about the Epos range of gaming headphones, microphones, etc. I've been working with the guys from Epos for a little while now, nearly a year, and I've been using their products pretty much daily, so I think it's a good chance for us to just review some of the lines a year on and just see, you know, how they're holding up and sort of pros and cons and stuff like that. We won't go too deep into like technical stuff because you can Google all that stuff. You don't need me to show you how to use Google. But coming from a content creator's perspective and using their products, I feel like there's some stuff that we can probably talk about and learn from. So yeah, we're just going to go through basically the range. All these products were gifted to me from Epos, but there's no requirement for me to talk positively, negatively, anything like that. They've just basically given them to me and want honest feedback and want me to use their products. And yeah, so this is all just 100% legit. We're not selling out necessarily. We're just telling what their products are like, and you can make up your decision whether or not they're the sort for you or not. So I had to go collect them all, basically. But go through a few things while we're here. So this is the first thing. This is the thing that the Epos first contacted me in regards to. It's the GTW 270 Hybrid. These are your Bluetooth earbuds. Pretty damn cool, if you ask me. I believe that they were kind of marketing as gaming earbuds, but honestly, good for pretty much anything. They did come with a USB-C receiver that you could use in your Nintendo Switch for lag-free audio, Bluetooth audio. However, the Switch has since had a firmware update which allows it to use Bluetooth audio anyway. Weird that they didn't have that before, but here we are. Regardless, these ones I didn't have to go find very far because they're always with me. I use these pretty much daily, both for work and for play. In terms of like pros and cons for these, I don't really have any cons. I use them pretty much daily for both work and play. They sync to my iPhone easily enough. They sync to my Switch easily enough. They sync to my laptop, which I use for work. All that sort of stuff very, very easily, which is kind of cool. Just give you a closer look at it. Hopefully I haven't got like any earwax or anything on it. But, you know, that just shows that I use them, you know. So you got your charging case here, which is USB-C in the back there. And these bad boys will sit in there. Do that. You can sync it with a one button press on there. Honestly, audio quality, fantastic. Microphone quality is as good as you would get with Bluetooth headsets or Bluetooth earbuds. I've used them for like Discord and Zoom and stuff like that. And yeah, really just no issues with it whatsoever. So yeah, just really happy with them, to be honest. And I've used them, like I said, pretty much daily. These go for around about the $300 mark still. So, but honestly, I have no desire to even look at getting replacements or any different kinds or anything like that because they do everything they say they will do, and the quality's just been fantastic. Charge too. I've never had to like go, oh damn, they're going flat and recharge them. They've just been fine. So that is the GTW 270 Hybrid by Epos. Now, we're going to go through in order in which Epos sent me these. So, it sent me those wireless ones, which are fine. Obviously, you can't necessarily have something shoved in your ear like that for very long periods of time gaming. So, the next headset that they gave me, GSP602. These are in collaboration with Sennheiser. And these are an older headset, but you can still pick these up around there. And what I would say is, in terms of headsets, these are very, very nice. I say that because I came from just using studio headsets and stuff like that, and not so much a gaming headset. This was the first time I've actually gone for something that is designed and made for gaming from the ground up, essentially. Build quality is impressive, not to say the least. It's very cool. I'm going to get me the camera out. Closer stuff to it here. So, first thing you'll notice, it has got a bit of weight to it. It is very hard plastic build all around through here. Got these little dials on the side for on the fly audio adjustment. Very thick cushions that will go over your ear. They are a closed back headset, and their audio is very, very nice. But yeah, what I would say in terms of any sort of cons that I would have to it, they are heavier than what you're probably used to in terms of like your cheaper sort of headphones. But I think that a lot of that comes from the quality, and there is enough cushioning where it is just very, very comfortable. The only other thing I would say is this microphone, it's not bad. You'd never really use it unless you were sort of just gaming on the go, I guess. But it doesn't detach or anything, so it is always attached to your headset and going to be there with it. But I mean, this was from Epos. This is what they gave me to begin with. So if I didn't use the Bluetooth earbuds, I was using these bad boys, and no issues whatsoever. These are an older model, so they're a little bit harder to track down now, but you still can pick them up around about the $200 to $300 mark. Depends on whether or not you're getting them new or refurbished or whatever. But certainly, if you spot some 602s and you're in the market for a headset, great. Yeah, good solid headset. Yeah. Moving on to the next. Next thing. For this, the Epos H3. This is a closed back over ear headphone headset. They do make a hybrid version as well, which is a wireless version. But the one we're looking at today is the corded version. So this was sent to me as the sort of the new range as they were launching it. Let me switch cameras here and we'll have a closer look at it. So, okay. First thing you're going to notice, in terms of especially stepping from the 602 to this, the build quality is obviously less. And the reason for that is this here retails for around about $150 brand new. So that puts it in that kind of medium to low end range for headsets. The cushioning still really good, fits comfortably on your head, can be adjustable obviously down the sides here like that. It's also got audio deal, you can see that there, that goes with that, and yeah, headset that comes down. Microphone's not bad for what it is. Again, it's a wired version. They do make a wireless version of it as well, but certainly if you don't want to come out and maybe it's for someone who doesn't want to spend a lot of money for a headset, someone still wants quality but doesn't want to spend, $200, $300, $400 more. Certainly, these are a go-to. This is the sort of stuff that, like, if I was to give it to someone who's younger, who's going to maybe, treat it a little bit more rough, ideal, perfectly ideal, no problems there at all. But yeah, solid headphone, really. Just in terms of, like, for me, who is a big guy who wears for very long times and stuff like that. Maybe not so much, but certainly for younger people, kids, and people that are just looking for a budget headset that's decent. That's definitely the one to go for at around about that $150 mark. But yeah, and so, like I said, the actual sound quality and stuff like that, like the headphones and stuff, totally fun, no problems at all. Yeah, it's good. So moving on to. Well, let's step away from headphones for a second. Let's go to the microphone. When they announced this thing, I got very excited. This is a BT20, Epos BT20. I was using a Yeti, like most streamers that have been streaming for more than 4 or 5 years, using a Yeti. And switching to the BT20 was essentially, for all the mechanical sakes, the same. So it's plug and play USB. It's got an audio out port, which is important for some of the different sort of setups that I do in particular. The audio quality itself, and I'd open up and bring it there, but it's not there because it's already set up. So this is what it looks like. Now, straight up, I'll get me over camera out here. Closer look. So straight up, it looks like, in terms of the way that it actually works, got your mic, your mute and unmute, got your little volume wheel here, and if we flip it around, you got your little controls here as well, which to anyone who's used like a Yeti or similar sort of microphone, this all looks very familiar because it's almost exactly the same. Got your gain on the back here. stuff on there. This is a solid mic, and for probably 6 to 8 months, I was using this as my studio microphone for both my podcast and my streaming and everything else. And that's why it's a little bit grubby. It's definitely been used. Down the bottom here, it's got your USB-C connection and your headphone jack there as well. Great, fantastic. No, like quality-wise, in terms of using it as a microphone, no worries at all. I have 2 cons to it that I don't like, and I feel like it's sort of stuff that they could probably fix with like the next version of it or so on. The push button to mute, unmute. Not a fan of that. People tend to hear you when you mute and unmute, if that's the case. A lot of the more modern microphones that have come out in the last couple of years, they have just a little tap on the top or a touch or something like that, which has in itself is good because you can go tap and mute and then tap and unmute, and it's silent essentially. But it also means that you can accidentally bump it and mute it. But I do prefer the silent option, particularly when you're doing sort of recordings and stuff like that. And the other thing is as well, it's this arm here and this connection that's on the bottom, that nut and so on. That's how you would connect it to like an arm, like a microphone arm or something like that. It hasn't got a standard connection on the bottom here. There's no sort of shock or anything like that. To give you an example, because I've gone from this to using a Elgato Wave 3, what we're recording on right now. Got a shock arm mount ready to go on there. And that's probably the main reason why I switched to that. It has got the tap on the top mute, but it also just the fact that I got the Elgato arm with it and everything like that, it makes actually recording and doing content a lot easier. That's the main reason why I switched to it. Having said that, whenever I do need a second microphone, or if someone else needs a microphone and stuff like that, this is the microphone we use. The Blue Yetis are gone. It's pretty much, I've got an Elgato Wave 3 and I've got this Epos BT20. And personally, I think it's as good as anything else. Like, I mean, we're talking about microphones that obviously USB ones. We're not talking about studio microphones or anything too crazy like that. But yeah, I'm just having a look now. $229 for that. It actually is on special at the moment at JB Hi-Fi. I won't say what price that is, but it's a bloody good price. So if you're seeing this video right now and going, damn, I'm using a Snowball or something like that from 5-6 years ago, maybe have a look at what JB Hi-Fi has on this bad boy right now, because that's a pretty good deal. I'll check this back. I'll check this over here. But yeah, so that's good. And honestly, to see Epos breaking into that market, which is at the moment it's dominated by your Blue microphones, Razer microphones, and the Elgato stuff, to see that sort of product come from Epos, fantastic. More of that. And if they can get into that sort of market where they can take a little bit away from Elgato, it's just good for good competition, Which brings us to the last thing that they've sent me, which is their newest, I should say, headphones. So we've got 2 versions here. Got the H6 Pro. This one here, I believe, is the closed acoustic back. And we've got this bad boy here, which is almost exactly the same, but this one here has got the open acoustic back, which is basically the style in which goes over your ear, whether or not it's sealed, closed, noise cancelling, versus whether or not it's an open back thing. The preference thing, really. I always gamed and played with closed back. Helps me focus. That's just the way I am. But yeah, I would open this up and have a look. But the easiest thing to do is just show you, because this is my day-to-day headset right now. Comfortable. But yeah, how many hours a day I'd use wearing this headset is a lot, to say the least. Build quality and stuff like that, you'll notice straight away that they've gone away from the big plastic bulky exoskeleton with the push that we saw on the 602, and they've gone with a padded top, extender on here, and then you've got a similar built cup around there, plenty of padding still, and you've also got your audio with. Yeah. So great. First thing you'll notice, heck of a lot lighter than the other one, a heck of a lot lighter. And also and I'll show you here, yeah, open. Ba-ba-ba. Oh. So, just in the box here, this is the microphone. Unlike the 602, the microphone couldn't be attached. Unlike the 602, the microphone couldn't be removed. On this one here, it's just a clip-on little... Ooh. That there is just a magnet. Comes off like that. Clips on like that. And then you've got microphone. So that basically, yeah, it's like the new and improved version of the 6, essentially. But the fact that it's a lot lighter is a big plus in my book, particularly for streaming long periods of time, as I do. And the fact that you can detach the microphone arm, also very helpful, because wasn't a fan of the microphone arm always getting in the way on the 602. So now this is one of their newer sort of headphones. Again, they do make a cordless version, wireless version as well. Obviously we've got the corded version that we're doing, which my settings are mainly analog anyway, so it's fun. But you can pick up these bad boys for around about the 250 mark. So that's pretty damn good in my books. Yeah, just a solid, in terms of sound quality, like every one of these headsets have great sound quality. Like it might not be the equivalent of like your super expensive studio headsets or whatever, but we're talking about studio headsets that would cost you $600, $700, $800. This is a $250 headset, right? That will plug into your PC. It'll plug into your Switch. It'll plug into your PlayStation. It's an all-encompassing gaming headset ready to go. $250, no problems. I think the cordless version, is about $400. But yeah, it all works. So I guess we're at that point now where how do we rate the EPOS stuff like that, and how do we feel about the product after using it and playing around with it for about a year? I've had no issues, like zero issues. Like when I say there's cons, the cons are it's a little bit heavy or this button makes noise. They are tiny little issues. I've used so many different brands. I grew up using Turtle Beach headsets and Astro headsets and stuff like that, and the stuff that you'd run into were just like the silliest problems, but they were problems from established brands. These here, I have no problem with, like, connectivity. Everything plugs in, everything works. The audio, the sound, it's all fine. It's crystal clear. It's as loud as you want it to be, or as quiet as you need it to be, and it works. It does everything it says it's going to do. And in terms of like wear and tear, I stream 4 to 6 hours a day most of the time, and then plus I work on PCs and on computers and everything else most days. These are getting used 30 to 40 hours a week easily, and no issues. And if you can pay $200 on a headset that you can use for a year or more without any issues, and most of these things come with a 2-year warranty, so they guarantee at least 2 years, you're laughing, really. They're a solid brand, and they make products that they say they're going to make. Are they going to be the flashiest and the coolest thing in the world? Maybe one day, if word gets out. But what you are paying for is quality that works, basically. And I've had no issues with them. And I'm very keen to see if they continue on this path, and if they go any further with, making... These are headsets that are made for gamers. The one thing I will say, and I'm not picking on any other brands, but these headsets, right? These headsets here, they look fine. They look like headsets. They work. Their sound is great. They don't have any RGB. They don't have any fancy anything like that. They are made for gamers who want to game and not mess around, and they do that. So, absolutely check them out. Most of your PC stores, your M-Waves, and those sort of stores will stock these, as well as, like I mentioned before, JB Hi-Fi has a few of their products as well. Check them out. Definitely look into them, because they are a solid purchase. So, but thank you. And look, I just want to say as well to Epos, thank you for reaching out to me originally and being so supportive of me, because there's not many brands who care about little old me. And sometimes, you know, sometimes it's nice to be approached by a brand that's good, that I can, without being prompted, say, yes, these are good products and I like them and they work, and I'm happy that they work with me. So thank you, Epos, for supporting the Zombies Love Bacon stream and everything else, and hopefully we get to work together on some new and exciting projects in the future. But thank you. And if you want to know a little bit more maybe about the wireless, the Bluetooth earbuds, I'll put a link to that video here as well, so check that out. Otherwise, I hope to see you on the internet somewhere, gaming like we all do. Catch us later.